Good evening. I'm Dr. Milan Balakrishnan. I'm a psychiatrist attached to Bombay Hospital and I practice in the Parel and Tardev area. This is a series that we're doing about raising awareness about various mental illnesses. So this is the month of October where we celebrate World Mental Health Day. So mental illnesses have always been shunned, stigmatized, which has resulted in we not talking openly about these illnesses, and which has led to a lot of people not seeking treatment in spite of suffering from serious mental illnesses. So today we're going to be talking about a mental disorder that we don't usually talk about. It's called bipolar disorder. So if you ask me what is bipolar disorder, it's basically a disorder of mood, right? So there are real swings in mood. Swings in mood doesn't mean usually swings within one day, feeling sad one moment and feeling happy the next is not what we call a bipolar disorder. It's a disorder characterized by sustained periods of change in mood. The change in mood may be of two spectra. So it's called bipolar because it refers to two different poles, right? So the one pole is the pole where the person feels elated in mood, a very high mood, can talk excessively, can become very friendly, over friendly, start feeling that they have certain powers, they have what is known as a feeling of grandeur, that I'm someone really powerful. At that time, there is a decreased need for sleep. So typically the patients get up early in the morning and start doing a lot of activities, planning a lot of activities. So the mood is very high and so is the energy, which makes the person very active, very energetic. You may say this is a good thing, but what also happens is the mood is so high and the energy is so high that the person tends to drift from one activity to another without completing any of the activities. Person may become so elated to an extent that the person may become irritable and refuse to accept anybody else's point of view, which results in arguments with other people, may get into arguments even with unknown people, which creates a lot of disturbance. So there's at this time also a tendency to seek a lot of pleasurable activities. So the person may end up spending a lot, buying a lot of new things that he doesn't require, may start also wanting to indulge in other pleasurable activities like eating a lot, tending to eat out a lot, spend a lot on eating. There may be also increased sexual activity at this time, which may lead to promiscuous behavior, which may not be what the person was prior to the illness. And these episodes can last from 14 days to 2 weeks to months, right? So, and during these episodes, even aggression may be noted. He may become very aggressive. Such an episode is usually called a manic episode. So this is one pole of bipolar disorder. This may alternate with episodes where person feels depressed, low, unhappy, not feeling like doing anything, not feeling like taking part in any activities, not wanting to do anything at all, no interest in anything, lying around all day, not having sleep this time because there are a lot of negative thoughts running through their mind, to an extent where the person may even feel that there is no point in living. And during the depressed phase, there is also a tendency to ruminate about the manic phase where the person starts to feel that there was so much energy before and now there is no energy at all. So these two extremes are what makes the disorder bipolar. So the two poles are mania and depression. These keep alternating with each other, interspersed with episodes of normal mood as well. So usually when a patient presents with a depressive mood, then we are unsure whether this is a bipolar disorder or just a plain depressive episode. But it becomes very clear and apparent if there's also been a manic episode in the past. Now, if you ask me what causes this illness, it's primarily a biological illness. Very often you will find very clearly a family history of bipolar disorder. So, and it has a very strong biological component in the sense it is because of disturbances in the neurotransmitter system. Neurotransmitters are basically chemicals in the brain that activate mood, thoughts. So a disturbance in this system is what will cause bipolar disorder. Important to remember that stress can trigger off episodes, but stress isn't the only cause for bipolar disorder. As I said, it has a biological component. Those who have a genetic predisposition, that means a tendency in the family to have bipolar disorder, when they are subjected to stress, these kind of episodes can get triggered. Now, if you ask me how do you treat it, treatment being a biological disorder, there is a need for medical treatment, but there are also non-medical ways of treating the illness, in the sense that teaching patients better ways of coping with stress, asking them to have more regular schedules, sleeping on time, waking up on time. These have a lot of benefit in preventing these episodes of bipolar disorder. Avoiding alcohol, cannabis, any substances, all stimulant substances, as well as all sorts of substances that can depress mood can trigger off these episodes. So these are some of the precautions that need to be taken. Understanding the illness, being able to understand the episodes will also help the patient monitor their mood and can prevent and identify the early triggers of these episodes. Family plays a very strong role in supporting the patient and helping the patient identify changes in mood, because very often when the mood starts to change, especially when the mood starts to get elated in the manic phase, patient may feel very happy and may not realize that there is a problem. So the family has a very strong role to play in helping the patient identify the disorder. Besides this, of course, medical options for treatment are available. That is, we use a class of drugs known as mood stabilizers, which help maintain the neurotransmitter level, neither letting them have episodes of mania or episodes of depression. So when patients are mood stabilizers, they tend to have lesser and lesser episodes. Commonly used mood stabilizers are lithium, divalproex, aripiprazole, olanzapine, and now newer drugs like lurasidone. So it's important to remember that medical treatment, as well as non-medical treatment, non-pharmacological treatment and supportive treatments do have a lot of role to play in bipolar disorder. Family support has a lot of role to play. Support from friends, support from peer groups. There are even a lot of bipolar networks, patients who support each other. Also, bipolar disorder has been found to be, an interesting thing about bipolar disorder is that it has been found to be more and more common in creative people. Although there's no clear-cut established research, but it's lots of well-known creative figures have suffered from bipolar disorder. For example, Oscar Wilde, Vincent van Gogh, all of them were known to have suffered from bipolar disorder. Ernest Hemingway. So, important, one, to know about the symptoms, so bipolar disorder can be identified early. Two, being aware also means that this is an illness and not just a usual disturbance of mood, and that there are effective treatments available. This knowledge should help help break stigma related to the illness and make it possible for all those who haven't sought treatment, who refuse to seek treatment, to approach their closest medical practitioner or mental health practitioner. Thank you.